Okay, Dominic, let me help you out a little bit on the Endsheet. You're going to do it, and it'll be great, and you're going to be proud of your work when you're done. And I'm proud of you. Always remember that. All right, what we want to do is I've created group 1 copy and a group 1. Those are our little floral swirl thingies that we have in our yearbook. We're just using this for a grid. All we want to do is make sure that our picture goes beyond, because when we stamp it, we want it to stamp. So I'm going to go down here to layer 2, which is this football picture, and I'm just going to move it up a little bit, and I'm going to put him like he's running through, and I'm going to put him way over on the side, and that's the edge of the book. Okay, I'm going to hide my histories because we know that's a good one to have open. Now what I'm going to do is the next picture I want to have is this guy from the talent show. Now it's pretty awesome that this is a cool picture of him doing the talent. We'll put his face oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Just about, I probably moved that football player. And now remember, his feet are going to get cut off because we're going to do the table of contents down here. But I want to make sure that this isn't like on his face. So I'm just going to strategically kind of place him right here. See how he's right in between the pink and the blue? All right, and then I'm going to pull the football player right above. Okay, so now I got football, and I have this guy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top layer, and I'm just going to pull the opacity down just so I can see. I think my football player could be a little large. Control T, you know that tool. I know you know that tool. I'm going to make him a little bit larger. Okay, and we got to be careful of hand placement. You don't want somebody's hand in a private part, if you know what I mean. Okay, that looks good. That green isn't really on his head. Double click, make sure we get the T. We're going to pull over. Now, what I want you to do is we're going to take our eraser. Use the little fuzzy edge. I usually start off pretty big, and then when I want to get in around, I'll go tinier, because the larger you make this circle, the fuzzier the feather's going to get. So, what I want to do is we're just going to kind of crop him out a little bit. Okay? And we're going to go down here on his foot. Alright, we're going to get all of this. We're going to erase these girls out because we're going to have cheerleaders on another picture. Okay, go. And then you're just going to kind of melt maybe the diamondback thing. We're going to go all the way up here to the top. Okay, and you artistically create this how you want it. And we're going to blend the two photos together. I always do the opacity on the top one and erase the top photo as I go. Alright, so back to 100. Now I can kind of see what I'm doing a little bit better. And I'm going to keep erasing. Okay. Now do you see how I got him kind of blended in on top of the football? Now, if I was going to spend a little bit more time on this, I probably should have done a little bit better job around his feathers. And you know how to zoom in on that. And then you would have just used a smaller eraser. You would have gone over here, got your eraser, just used a smaller tool. And then you can meticulously go in here and erase as needed, okay? And it would have just erased it. See how it erases it just a little bit better, but I would have had the football picture in there. Okay, now, but I'm just doing this as a demo. Okay, so now I'm ready for my next picture. Okay, I'm going to pull this one on top just so I can see what it looks like. Okay, it's the cheerleaders. So if I change the opacity because they're on top, now I can kind of see my other two layers. I'm going to move my cheerleaders. Let's see, she's the dominant one in the photo. But see, his hand might not be in the best placement. Don't laugh. Okay, so we want to make sure that the scroll is not on her eye or her face, so I'm looking at that. If I pulled her over more, then it's like his arm is too much in her face. So we might have to hold off on the cheerleaders and kind of put that one more over on that side of the page. So let's turn that one off. Let's go to the next one. Let's go up here. Pull this picture up. Okay, so we have this one. Again, it's the top layer. I'm going to pull down the opacity. Oh yeah, this one fits nice. Okay, So I kind of like that it has Serrano Soccer. I'm going to pull her up there. I'm going to strategically place her eyes so they're not in the little designs. So we're going to stamp those out in a little bit. And her picture still, look, it still all fits. So now I'm good. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my eraser. Oops, I'm going to take my eraser and I'm going to come over here. I don't want to erase her, so I'm going to make this a little bit larger. And what I actually want to do is I want to take a look. I want to pull this one up on the top now. And I am going to erase. Now here's the question, do I want to erase on his layer or do I want to erase on her layer? I kind of want to keep him, so I'm going to go ahead and erase her little fingers over here because I want to keep his knee, but I'm going to kind of go like this. And then this is where your artistic judgment's going to come in, and you need to decide, okay, what am I going to keep? What am I going to erase? Now his hand's going to get tricky. That's where you're going to have to zoom in and get your eraser and make that kind of tiny because of his little fingers. Too big. And you're just going to go in here and get his fingers. Alright, and then you meticulously are going to go through this, and then it's up to you to decide which layer you're going to erase and which ones you're not, because if you take a look now, you know, you want to make sure that you don't want to make it look too odd. If I just did his arm, that would look too odd. So let's just get all of this. Let's erase. Kind of keep his fingers. Alright, let's go up a little bit. Let me zoom out. Ooh, too much. Alright, and then I'm going to get my eraser, make it a little bit larger. And I'm going to erase all over here. Keep a little bit of that tree on the top. How much of that arm you want to keep, it's up to you. But what I want you to do is I want you to collage a picture and strategically place them in here, but make sure that eyeballs or nothing is in place. So the last one then you might want to do is cheerleaders. We'll throw that up on top. And let's see here, the dominant cheerleader is her, but we don't want, yay, peace in her face. But we want the pom-poms, look kind of cool. So we might want to pull her about right there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the eraser and start erasing over here, just so you can see. I'm going to take the opacity down. And what I want to do keep her hair. But you can artistically choose what you want to keep and what you don't want to keep. I kind of like that says Serrano. I want to keep that Serrano in there because it looks nice, but I want to get her piece. So it kind of looks like her hand a little bit. Make sure you erase out the cheerleaders down there. Let's go back to 100%, see how we're doing. Alright, so now we're just going to clean it up. Alright, Dom, that's what I want you to work on today. Now this looks weird because there's just like a, no, looks good. That's her hand. You kind of make that out. There's a foot down here. Let's get rid of that foot. Let's get rid of all this. Just erasing. All right, and pull the football players back up to the top. So now what we have is we have a collaged pictures. And so this is what I want you to work on today. Good luck. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'm here to support you, Dom.